And good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. My name is Sal Cosentino. I'm a systems cloud architect and trainer. Uh, Today is September 5th, 2025. I want to thank you for joining today. If you are joining me for the first time, please check out my channel for many videos and tutorials. I'm a systems architect with about 15 to 20 years. I also train. It's a job of mine. Um, it's something that I do, and it's a passion that I love, right? So to be able to create these educational videos, um, you know, with the intent of keeping your eyes on the prize, making sure that you get the information that you need to go ahead and either use it towards your future work, learn, motivate yourself to build your own, to build hands-on experience, and hopefully use that in your day-to-day experiences, right? So anything I do and I say, again, as an architect, again, we learn to design and implement specific architectures. But when we're looking at these types of videos, we build them for we create these drawings, and I create these videos for the engineers to or systems admins, or cloud engineers to use, right? Architects don't build, we manage, we develop, we implement. um, we do a lot of things. We focus on the we focus on the business architecture, right? How the organization operates, and how we can value streams and target those operating models. We also work on the application architectures, right? And how that portfolio or your organization's going to use delivers its capabilities to the world, right? So there's many things. There's different artifacts. There's different context aware container diagrams that we can design and build it and whatnot in a professional environment. And we can also can be an inventory of applications. So they could be some integration patterns of your applications or playbooks, or what kind of interferences and APIs need. We also deal with the technology, right? I'm an infrastructure guy as well too. I was a systems admin guy too. I used to be I am a cloud engineer, but again, I'm a systems architect now. So when we used to focus on the design aspect, I mean, the build aspect of it, it was all to do with your infrastructure, your cloud, your network, and how we can strategize that, right? So what our focus is on in getting towards what we need. So as you guys watch these videos, follow along. This is some great tips. And then um, we talk about not just the technology, the application. We also talk about the data and information, right? So like who owns it, where, like who will own this, who's going to be in charge of the data, and stuff like that. How are we going to protect this data? But again, in this video, I want to make this as simple as possible. I want you guys to follow along. I want you guys to like and subscribe to this video and share with friends that are architects. I mean, that are engineers and that are coders that work with Linux-based operating systems and that want to create their own containers in their own environments, right? So our goal is to learn how to do that. Get your hands on, get those eyes, get those hands on, and then get those eyes to learn and to experience different opportunities within this service or within these applications, right? Or logically. So my goal here is to make this as easy as possible. Again, sorry about my typing here, something on my keyboard. sticky today, but I have to change that. Apologize. 2025. Oops, 2025. Okay, so in this class, I want to talk about containers. All right, and why not talk about containers now with me? And as you're doing your research and as you happen to, you know, stumble upon this video or through other videos and like get to learn a little bit, right? Get your skills up to date. Um, know why we're doing this, right? So let's talk about containers today, right? Let me see if I can find a big container. I'm going to let's see if I can find insert an image here. That's a picture. And I want to use the old stock images, right? And we're going to look for a picture of a container uh, as we create our own. Right. Here's a great picture of a container. Insert, there you go. So I'm going to send this to the back. And I'm going to make this visible to the eye because I want you guys to also see this. Uh, you know, um, it's a little bit bigger for you. And I'm going to change the font size to white. I'm going to drag this over to the bottom. And I'm going to drag this over to the blue part. All right. So in this one, we're going to be talking about containers, right? So let's get it going. I wanna start off with an introduction, right? And introductions are, and I'll send you links and stuff and whatnot in this video for you to follow along. That way, um, you know, we can do a side-to-side comparison. So here's my machine. Show you guys my machine in a second. So I have a machine already set. This machine is a Ubuntu machine that wants me to update LibreOffice software. Sure, why not? I can do that. I'll install that. And this is also going to allow me to upgrade, right? So we're going to do that as well too. So I'm going to start off with getting this up to date, right? There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and install LibreOffice. Let's see what we can do if we can get the about, anything to the about here in the settings. And then if we go into the settings, we should be able to find um, our different accessibilities. Okay. And we're looking at a hardware model. This is Ubuntu 22 Jammy Jellyfish, 64-bit. I've installed it on my VMware software. So basically, you guys can also try that too. But you're more than welcome to, uh, it's installable from the DVD. So again, the installation medium is available online with a quick research and Google search away, right? So this is great that I have the authentication. Oh, what's going on here? There you go. So again, this is all downloadable from the internet, from the servers, right? They have your software here. These are some software and updates. Again, we can add these different updates if we need to from other software from the code here. Then there's the updates. I'm subscribing to all updates automatically. Yeah, I do want to check. Well, typically you would have a policy or update a GPO that you would want to push. But in this instance, because it's manual, we can do these daily or every 2 days, just to kind of get the actual uh, availability and kind of get the visibility on those different things. So this is good for testing. This system has basic security. Again, we can extend floor updates on these machines, right? And we can look at the different security maintenance for that. So extend the lifetime. Uh, so so we can kind of do that and see what the maintenance is involved for that, and get your security team to work with that. So you have up to 12 years of support with the pro schedule, right? Based on the scheduled timeline. So if you look at our scheduled timelines for Jammy Jellyfish, um, you know, we have support up until 3032. And this is just a schedule, right? So here's your schedule for your maintenance support. Uh, if you decide to go to Ubuntu Pro, right? So I have other videos on that, but again, these are the different releases that you're going to, Focal Fossa, right? Right. So you can go ahead and download, get started with a free trial, right? And that's it, right? So that's how you would do that. Get the chat bot out of here. I'm going to try that now. You will subscribe it. It's free again, but there are pro versions that are paid for, right? So make sure that you're aware, and they're really cheap. I know Ubuntu's free, but again, they're really cheap, and they have the coverage that you need, the security coverage that you're going to need. So a lot of companies have to invest in some specific things like that, especially in open source and open source applications. You got the support for your base OS, you got the support for that, and again, these are the different support systems. If you add the different support systems, it makes sense to purchase these, right? Like you can respond, you can get these specific um, supports with Pro and your subscription, right? But again, go with the free trial because that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna continue to go through that free trial, and then we're gonna start your free trial, right? And then we're gonna go through these different um, questions, FAQs. If you have any questions, if you do, again, take a look at that. Follow along with that site here. Um, okay, that's on. All right. So again, um, okay. So again, if you are um, wanting to get your account set up, attach your machine to your subscription, and how to use that, there is documentation as here as well. Just follow along with this pro explanation start here guide and just go through the different questions itself, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory. We're all professionals here. It's not that hard. If this is your first time getting and learning how to build a machine, start from the basics. Go way back and follow along in my. There's some old videos on how to create Ubuntu machines. You can follow along with that too, um, and go from there. I'm also going to refresh Firefox. Again, keep your computers updated. Uh, Always good. Yes, you want to notify yourself. I want to notify understand the Ubuntu Pro using the Ubuntu client. I want to understand how to help. Like again, start here, understand Ubuntu Pro, go through these different versions. Very self-explanatory, very cool. Um, I'll be doing some of that with you just to kind of go with you because it's not there are other videos out there that just do it, right? I like to include documentation as well too. As engineers, we also need to, do these self-guided help guides, right? So um, just to get you prepared, right? Even if it's your first time. Give me 1 second, guys. So I think by now, Libre Office was installed. There's the authentication stuff, MFA authentications that they use for benchmarks. Oh, I thought this was MFA. Okay, so yeah, these are all the MFAs. We can actually import, remove specific trusted providers here. Additional drivers if we need it. They'll search for that. Developer options, you know, if you're a developer. And going back to gotta wait for that. And again, if the device uses other drivers like your SVGA adapters, or if you have any other adapters, you'd open up the VMware tools for virtual machines, right? So you have to open up the VMware tools for Linux and have that installed, um, right? And that will uh, it'll use an alternate driver for that, right? So you'll have to install that VMware tools for Linux. Um, these are developer options, like I was saying. And then these are your pro. I have pro support enabled. And then I have my different packages until 3032, right? See if I can add that too as well. And then authenticate. And this is all compliant for security. Again, only recommended, um, in hardening, especially when you're. Oh, so this I cannot enable. I guess it's the support, but this has its compliance in hardening. I'm able to enable the USG guide. This will also enable FIPS, FedRAMP, HIPAA, other compliances for your governance hardening requirements. So if you're in, and then this also have FIPS 140-2 modules. If you are a security architect or a security engineer, this is also some great information for you to use as well too. So this also allows you to automate using your CSI benchmarks, right? So we'll enable that. Um, enabled it all. Right? I've enabled the guides. And then this will automate and harden with the CSI benchmarks while allowing for like specific um, the specific customizations, right? If you need the USG, the Ubuntu security guide for you security gurus to use, you must close the existing Firefox process. Okay, so there's a Firefox process first. Okay, let's close that. And I could have swore I had Google installed here. No, I didn't. But that's fine. I'm going to close this for now. I'm going to keep this as a good read. And I'll have my text editor opened. And I'll just paste that there for now. Oops. I'll open up my text editor. So LibreOffice is similar to, it's a different, obviously it's an open source document. It's an open source, sort of like Office 365, but it's used a lot for um, Linux machines, right? So, LibreOffice is a great product. I still use it. People still enjoy it. I also have Microsoft Edge that I installed. I remember that now because I've installed that with my Intune when we're doing the Intune um, company portal. So, well, so I've taken that. I'm going to close that now. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open up the USG documentation. One sec. Just to kind of give you guys an understanding of what that is and how that works. Good. Would be great. There we go. So these are some technical implementation guides that have that. You can go ahead and install those so that your machine is compliant, which is great. This is, and it gives you the different hardenings and the hardenings with that, so you can follow the tutorial for that and then just go based on that, right? So you can install the Pro this way. And if I open up Terminal and I paste that one at a time. Right? And let's do a side to side here. There you go. So I'm going to do the sudo update. And that's how easy it is, right? It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to put my sudo command here. And I've gone ahead and, thrown that. And then once that's done, I'll go ahead and copy the next command. And this will download all the repositories for that, for Jammy Jellyfish. If they have it, they'll let you know. It'll update based on the servers or archives, right? So even if we go to, for example, what I would normally do is go to, I'd follow these links, right? And sometimes they have a great information, right? Oh, hold on. All right, so security dot Microsoft. Oh, sorry, Ubuntu ubuntu.com, and then hit enter. See if I can click on this instead. Let's just click on this. Should open it right away. I hope it's opening it right away. So let's try to copy the link instead. This is just taking a little bit too long for me. I don't know why it's doing this, but I'm gonna copy the link. And if I remove this here and put the H, enter. So as you could see, the Ubuntu server is not requested because I am missing. What am I missing here? Oh, I have this wrong. All right. So sometimes it's best to type it in. There you go. So here's the parent directory. Right, and this will have the different projects and different archive rings. So if I go back one step, I go to Ubuntu. Right, so this will be in my Ubuntu. And these are the types of releases that they have, right? So if I click on this, let's see what happens. Oh. And this will have the security and releases, similar thing. And then they also have the, we have that section. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Oh, Ubuntu also, so it's just Ubuntu. It just keeps going, right? These are just specific folders. I guess Ubuntu just keeps going. I think the only one here is the 32 meg, which is the GZ file. That's, I guess, the important file that we're looking for, and that's the in release for that version. That's one version, and then we also have me copy this, copy the link. Like take these down. These are some great important um, links that we would use for that, right? And these have the different versions that look like they're up to date. Indices are up to date. Again, these are all updated through them, so this is cool. Take that information, use it. Then these are the different, uh, again, packages on a Microsoft machine, for example. Like you have this package here, copy the link, same thing, right? And then paste. Right, so this will kind of give our distribution and our pools for the end releases. So this is where the repository is. It's good to know. Any questions again? And again, you can keep going. I think there's different versions, right? So you would have to play with the links and stuff and whatnot and see the different versions that you have, right? So my version would be that. You have 24.04, it's got the same thing. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and install the Pro client again, the second line of code. And we're going to do a Control V, enter, oh, paste. Doesn't like the Control V, it's fine. With the sudo command. And this will go ahead and build and read our packages and build in and read the state. What this is, it's giving us a, do I want to continue? So the following packages will be upgraded, right? So these are the different packages that we're going to have. 3 upgraded. We're not going to remove any. There's 291 in this list that they have, but again, based on the packaging lists and the dependency trees, we'll go ahead and follow the install Pro client command. And if that works, we're going to hit yes. And this will go ahead and continue. So this will go ahead and run the specific and unpack the different clients and install the different versions of config files, right? Which will be necessary to get the Ubuntu security guide ready to go. I am not going to upgrade just yet. I want to upgrade later, but I don't want to. I'll ask you. I want to show you guys this, right? This is important to upgrade, and this is one of the steps that we could have done first. But again, I want to, you know, show you guys what it's like to go have an older version and then move your way up slowly, right? So I'm going to minimize this for now. So once that's done, we've now set up, we're now able to attach the subscription. And to attach your subscription, it's not really necessary, right? In the Ubuntu Cloud images purchased through the cloud, but to attach your subscription, you would have to follow the steps to this, right? So if I have a subscription, I would click on that and I would install the Ubuntu Pro client and then attach my subscription there, right? So let's see what we can do here. Let's try to do that. Step 1. Right, paste, enter, and this will go ahead and install the users, pro users, and holders, right, based on their different packages. So let's see if that finished. So we've gone ahead and attached our machine to a subscription, and that's basically we installed the Pro client first, and now we're going to attach the subscription to our machine, right? So we're gonna, with this command, we're gonna copy, paste. So it says that this machine's already attached. Great, perfect. That's what I wanted. To use a different subscription, we would run the Pro attached. So based on the subscription that you had when you've created the subscription, you went ahead and do that. So if it tells you to sign in, you sign in and provide the following code. So it would ask you for the following code. And then that would be the following code you'd want to use, right? In the last 24 hours. Um, So this will go ahead and attach the machine. It'll add the ESM package list and forth, and then this will attach it to your free personal subscription, right? So when the machine has successfully been attached, you'll see a summary of which the services are enabled, and you can go ahead and go there. So it looks like it's already been attached. And then we'll go to for the next steps, we'll read our documentation, and we'll go through our documentation here. And there you have it. So let's go ahead and go through that and check out the tutorials. So once those are done, you're ready to go. You've hardened your machine. You have, obviously, you would need to enable that through using the documentation. You would be able to read that. Make sure that your machine is in compliant and following governance standards, and have that cryptographic module certification of compliance with the FIPS, and have data protection standard included um, within your work subscription and your workloads. So um, again, they have their. I want you to read all of this, and then we can follow the tutorials on how, um, right, and we can use that pro to enable flips if we have it, and we can try this and see what happens with our free subscription. Although it's grayed out, let's see what we can do here. So we need a pro subscription or a free. So we can use that, and we can use that on 5 machines. So right now, it needs to run at least a version of this or later. So we'll go to the next part and install FIPS for us. So I'll show you guys a little bit on how to do that, which is kind of cool, and take advantage of all the policies that you guys have a visual representation of how to properly get this going and get your machine hardened and up to code, and you know and get you the support that you need with the free subscription that you already have, right? Uh, so I'm going to go ahead and open the terminal again. I'm going to open my trusty terminal, and I'm going to Control V or paste. Doesn't like the V, so I'm going to 200 part because I don't think it needs it. Yeah, and the tilde at the front. Did I ask for a tilde at the front? No, so I'm going to remove the tilde at the end of this policy. Enter. Before we get these machines compliant, again, I'm going to make this as short as possible. I'm going to divide these into separate sections, just so that you guys have some time to digest all of this stuff. It is a lot of stuff to do. Just make sure that your machines are ready to go. And, you know, if you want to update, we need at least a version of 27. We have 27. So let's see if we can update this to see what happens if we're in compliant, or if our version is active and good. Oh, paste. See what happens here. Enter. Just want to make sure I'm up to date and the tools are up to date. Take this copy, right click, paste, and I'm going to enter. So I have an updated version, which is great. Now that we have a correct version running, again, I'm going to take a look at my pro version. I think we have 27, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I want to up to date. I want to make sure it's up to date, right? Right click, paste, pro version. Let's see what my pro version is. And I have my pro version of 20. Pro version doesn't give me the full 36 Ubuntu. Okay. We have 10, but we have 10 Ubuntu, so now we need at least. So it looks like 10 Ubuntu. That's an actual number. So it looks like we're up to date. Let's see what's next on the client to enable FIPS. And I'm going to Um, or move the full screen for a second there. And I want to make sure that we up to date. So introduction, right? And I'm going to add these sites, um, right? And make sure that we get all the information for you that's needed. Um, good. Did Libre Office and its products if necessary. And it asks on your version of Ubuntu, right? And it's called Libre, and that is a like I showed you. Um, if we go here, LibreOffice is sort of like Microsoft 365 for Linux, which is kind of cool. You can download this on your Windows if you want, but right, you can download that and use this. For example, here, if you want to draw, right, and then I'll start my, and then finish, right, and then hit OK. Again, I can draw here and draw, give my specific diagrams again on this machine, and then insert text box here, right? Insert. Uh, okay. So yeah, you kind of get the gist of things. You'll have to take a little bit of time how to use it. Um, so this will have a text. Okay, so insert, let's see if we can insert text in this. Shapes, arrows, great product. You just need to take a little bit of time and look into it and stuff, but it looks pretty straightforward. If I go to paragraph, does it let me? Okay, so I just got to triple click on it and type in inside. Okay, so this is our Ubuntu machine, right? VM, and within that, we're going to build our container. And we'll get to that point, right? So we're going to put our container with on top of the Ubuntu software, right? Into this hypervisor here. And again, we'll and this will be our container for Ubuntu, and we'll be using Ubuntu's products, recommended products, to get that installed. This is not joined to the network. This is not joined to the domain. It can be joined to the domain. Um, it can be joined to your domain. So, we can join it to our domain, and again, we can create our domain very easily, right? We can give it, like for example, here's 2012 that I have here, and again, you're installing ADDS role, right? And then, for example, our ADDS role is here. That's our server role, and this will go ahead and um, install all the rules and features that are necessary. As you can see here, the RSAT tools, and this will install the specific, and this also include the management tools. And I want that, right? If I need to add a feature, again, I can go back and add two at a time, right? So, for example, if I want to add, I don't know, Hyper V, No, I can't because hypervisor is already installed. Do I have it? No, I didn't even check it, so I'd have to check that first. But anyways, like I said, and then over here I can install RAS, right? I can install my remote access for RAS, WSUS, right? And I can add more features. I can install my DNS server here, which is another thing I want to do. And then click next. And just make sure I have the net framework. Is there anything else in here that I want? No, like I said, I have my RAS here too, my RAS connection. Yeah, so let's just do the for now, and we'll go ahead and um, let that submit for another future video. But let's go ahead and you know do the WDI WID. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do WSUS. WSUS I'm gonna leave for something else. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove WSUS. I don't need that right now. And I'm not gonna do remote access, and I'm not gonna do RAS because I'll do that for another video. And I'm going to um, oh, cancel previous, and I think that's it for now. That's it for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and install these. There is a alternate path, and I'm assuming the alternate path is um, sources. So it would be where the source file is. Um, so I'll do the drive, and I'll put the sources slash ss sources ssx. This is actually a feature for, you know what, I'm gonna remove this. This is another video. I'm gonna go back and remove it. I'm gonna use this for my MECMPS video that I'm gonna do in a couple days. So I'm not gonna do this now because I want to show you guys how to do this quickly. Um, I wanted to give you guys some examples of showing multiple ways, but we'll just use DNS for now, and we'll do this RAS connection management administration kit and ADDS and web server. I'll get that installed for you right now. That way it's installed. So this is going to install the features, and it's starting on the machine. For that to happen, if I want to complete my DHCP configuration, I'll go ahead and commit to that later. Uh, I want to install the ADDS and have this actually part of my video here. So as you can see, my Ubuntu machine, um, I'm also going to put another machine here, right? And that machine is going to be um, this here. So I don't like colors here. I like my see-through colors. Donate. I'll change the colors to um, the color standard palettes here that I have. And I'm going to use this color here. And then I'm also going to put and it's just going to be for internet, right? So this is where we're going to connect for now. Your internet. I click inside of it. I'm going to type in internet. Right. So this will be our internet connection, and I wanted to align it in the back, send to the back. All right. So as you can see, right, our two machines, and this is going to be our Windows Server OS, Windows Server 2012 OS, right? And then on top of it, we're going to install, and this is going to have our ADDS features. Insert text box. There you go. Okay, there you go. Insert text box. And this is going to be our ADDS and just DNS for now, right? So that's what I want. So ADDS, oh, caps lock on, DDS and DNS roles. Like I said, see if I can capture this a little down there. Okay, there you go, perfect. And then I will bold it. I will make this a little bit bigger for you guys. I apologize. This needs to be bigger. And remove this out of the way. I want to make this bigger for you guys. Okay. Right. So as you can see, this here is also going to be right. And then this is our goal, right? Our goal is to get this container installed as a software on top of our VM hypervisor, or right. So I'm going to find a triangle now, and I'm going to select the same color that I had. Oh, it's fine. And I'm going to select the same color, and then this I'm going to align in the front, right? So this will be on top inside our VM. But you guys get the gist of it, right? So this is all done through terminal. It's all command line based. Again, this can all be automated, right? In the cloud as well too. But again, just take advantage of. And I'm going to go back to the bottom of the tree here. All right, there you go. All right. So Windows. So you guys kind of get the understanding. I'm gonna get you guys to here. Put this in the back. Or what I'll do is I will not fill it. We'll go with that, and I'll change the line color, and then I'll change the line color. Where's the line color? All right, there we go. So I'll change that line color, and I will make it thicker so that you guys can see it. And I'll bring this back to the front. As you can see, this takes a little bit of time. I miss my paint, but you guys kind of get the gist of things here. I'm just going to go back to paint. This is going to take too long for the video, so I'm just going to go like this for now. But this is an option, right, that you guys can use. I love, everybody's got their own drawing and their ways of drawing things. I typically like using um, Microsoft products for that, Visio, right? But to each its own. But as architects, we use our professional version, right? And then with time and stuff, when we're showing it, this would obviously be. But because I'm training you guys, um, I still love my paint. Don't ask. It's been 100 years, right? So, uh, but as you can see, guys, this is, you understand what I mean, right? So we're going to be building our container on top of that, right? And just remember what we talked about, right? So, we have our operating system, and on top of our operating system, we're installing these services and roles, and we're going to be creating this using code, right? Um, our machines are built. You're going to have this is just a work group. It's not joined to the domain. So not joined to the domain. Domain. It's a standalone machine, right? Uh, and it's a work group, right? So understand that. It's important to know that it's not something I'm going to be doing right now. I'm not going to be talking about networking. That's a different topic, right? So, it's not something that we're going to be doing yet. This is another day, another topic. Uh, and then enter. Right? We call this a standalone. So we have uh, a domain controller, a member server, and a standalone machine. So those are the three types of machines that we usually do. So again, we have our Ubuntu machine, or Ubuntu VM, and we have our Windows VM. And on top of it, again, the software is Ubuntu, right? So I'm going to put Ubuntu as software. It'd be Ubuntu software OS, right? For our VM. Right? And we name this, again, there's a hard drive here. I depend on what I built it, but you would get, when you're designing these machines, you're designing it based on what the recommendation values are, right? So if Ubuntu says, um, follow the recommendation um, minimum requirements, then follow the minimum requirements for that, because it does make sense, right? So let's see what they say. Ubuntu minimum requirements for uh, building VM, right? And see if Conical has one. They say that, at least 2 GB, right? But 4 GB is better for smoother experience, and you need at least a single core CPU, right? We talked about that. We talked about the disk space. I think here, when I designed it, right? I designed it with two processors, right? But again, I would build it with one CPU, right? I would shut this down, and then, which is something we're going to do in our next video. And then again, single core sufficient, but they're saying a dual core, quad core CPU is recommended for better performance, right? So a single core is sufficient, right? Based on um, what they say. So let's see what Ubuntu says. Right? And Ubuntu's architecture here for 32 says the minimum RAM for ISO installs is 1.5 GB. And for cloud images, it's 1 GB. So right now we have enough, which is the minimum 4, right? Which is what we just talked about. So we have our storage, right? We have our memory, right? And let's see what it says about data storage. So data and storage, you have archive rotational shell scripts. we can run this script. We can back up to tape drives, right? Following that, I'm not going to do that. We also have high availability for 23 and 4 and over, where PCS became the recommended supporting tool. Then we have other tools, right, for the Ubuntu. But I want to go back to not server, but I want to go back to, I apologize. I noticed that it said server here, so I'm going to go back to the desktop because that's the one that I want you guys to kind of look at right now. And I want to talk about minimum requirements, right, for each flavor. Now, these are just help. They don't show everything. So documentation, let's see. Has the different apps, Ansible, Chisel, Rockcraft. Let's see. Kubernetes, Conical Kubernetes. XD is what we're going to be doing together. And it brings me to the help. Okay. And it doesn't give me any good information why. So let's go ahead and see if we can find something a little bit better based on Conical's website. But based on this, three sources, it brings me to the server, but I'm looking for a desktop. So what I'm going to do is go to desktop, right? Hypervisor 2. So, you know, we need at least 1 gig of RAM. Processor, you need at least 1.3, which is what I have here. If we're doing this in ESXi, which is the other server that I showed you last time, we have it here. ESXi, this one. So I'm going to double click again. This was my ESXi VCP, so I can install it in here as a hypervisor. So that's where we would go ahead and install it. And again, VMware Pro supports Ubuntu supports that, so that's good. But we're looking for the amount of processors for creating a VM, and it does not give you. Conical does not give you one. So desktop building. Okay, so let's see building, designing a virtual machine and installing OS lab. So they have some good, like I said, I have the videos already. I showed you guys how to do this. I've done this so many times. But again, this also has tutorial. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to take this here, and this will show you how to run a on VirtualBox, but install it on VirtualBox, right? Or Oracle if you want to. I'm not looking for VirtualBox. I'm going to look for VMware. Let's go to tutorials and back. Okay, tutorials. So this is for VirtualBox. I don't want to use VirtualBox, but this will give you the, the instruction on how to download and durations on all that. I have videos on that, so you're more than welcome to watch that. That'll kind of give you the. I know that when you have interactive videos, a lot of people prefer visibility rather than getting, again, keeping the eyes on the prize, getting to follow along. That way, you're part of an interactive class. You can also do this behind the scenes, one on one, which is what I enjoy doing is the one on one features of that. So kind of get that going. I want to see if I have something like this, but um, how to run it on VMware Workstation Pro. Let's see, create. So anything that has a Workstation Pro, they should have it, but so this one here is good because it has pictures as well too. So if I copy this and I put this in here, right, and then I put Workstation Pro, see what happens. Installing. Yeah, there it is. This is not conical, but what I like about these, what I like about it is I think it allows you to, um, and do I have VT installed on this one? Let's see. Should have VT installed. No, I don't. So I'll have to do that as well too. Do that. Um, 1 second. So let's just figure out. I'll get you guys a link, but different companies have different links. I prefer going to the source, right? They have their guides. They also help on how to download the ISO images for you for the desktop, right? So this will show you. I have a video on this, but you're more than welcome to use this documentation if you'd like. Um, and this will kind of help you build a basic machine. Once you do build this machine, I want you guys to um, share that you did in the comments and message me on WhatsApp and send me some pictures and give me some feedback on your process and how you did it. Right. Um, what I do is uh, for some students, what I'll do is I'll post them on my site, and I'll get them to come into one of my live classes and work with me on a project while I design all this stuff too for free. Right? So just again, the more the merrier. If you do decide to do that, please share results. Please create one on your own. Get yourself to learn on how to do that because here we can even write a tutorial. You can even write for Ubuntu if you'd like and show how to run a virtual desktop in VMware Workstation Pro, right? And publish that. See what happens here. So we can write guides and tutorials. You will need a discourse account if you want to make any changes. Here's some guidelines, some structures if you want to write for them. Um, you can. It's very easy. I don't have time to do that, but again, you're more than welcome to write guides for them. Just follow the Ubuntu discourse. It's called discourse. That way, you know, you can write for them and read up on this kind of stuff, right? If you have an account, log in. If you don't, sign up. If you do have a one account, it's part of your one account. So in my other video, I created a one account. So what I'll do is I will um, log into my one account, right? And I will put in my password for this account. Give me 1 second as I look for it. Okay. Um, okay, perfect. Create my account and sign up. And there you have it, guys. So I signed up. As I sign up, we will go back to our product. And again, this is where you kind of write your own documentation, right? Do that. It's a good example if you guys have some time for writing. Any writers out there? But like I said, keep yourself educated, keep yourself uh, motivated, and a lot of this stuff will come easily and naturally, right? So, I'm going to discuss a little bit about what we talked about here. Right? In the beginning, we taught, besides our introduction to this video and series, I'm also going to, discuss with you the um, Ubuntu VMware and how to create a container inside your virtual machine, right? Just remember you need to create and how to create your virtual machine step by step, right? Applying updates to your um, Ubuntu machines, ensuring that your VM is up to date. It's important that you do that because, and I'm going to, right, and then this is the current version that I have, current version that I have for testing purposes. And I explained why I did that. You can go up to date, but again, this is just testing the waters with it and using the different documentation about Pro, how to explain that. We also talked about security, right? And how to use the documentation and we talked about uh, FIPS, secure USG, right? Right? Security, compliance, and governance, right? In Ubuntu, right? With Ubuntu Pro, right? Um, we also talked about the services, and right. So if we go back to or upgrades, right? And available upgrades. I'm not going to do this now, so I'm going to ask later. Um, ask me later. Ask me later. What else did I do? We talked about the about section, right? Right. So right now I'm on 22 jammy fish. Um, we did the software. Ah, there we go. So we talked about software and updates. We talked about security, compliance, and hardening. Compliance, hardening, and governance, and Ubuntu with Ubuntu Pro. Um, well, again, we also talked about the different authentication updates, software that's involved, and making sure that it's an official supported version of it, so it's official, right? And just make sure that your updates are. Oh, we also talked about the basic maintenance plans and how to extend those. So I've got extension up until 2 years, right? So we can definitely you know go through those versions of that for ESM, and I'll take that into here. Updates, authentication, and to Pro options. And again, there's a site for that, important site. So, um, right, so we enabled FIPS, right, and USG. Together we enabled FIPS and USG. It's important as engineers to understand that this is how your machines need to be, right? I typically would, obviously update my machines right away. We would have policies and update policies for this that we can create automatically um, through our patching systems that we use. Pause it, but because this is manual, I want to show you guys the options and the availabilities that should come up. And again, I want all updates, right? So I need that to work, and this is always going to be for long-term support, right? So this is going to be a really light machine, very, very light, right? So just make sure that you're using the proper documentations for that. Follow along. There's different steps to enable that, and go through those steps to enable it. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? So this is what I'm going to do. Once I retrieve I checked that, right? We checked it, and then step 3, we didn't finish it. So thanks for reminding me there. So what I'll do, note to self. I'm going to post this here. I'm going to complete it together and complete the steps, right? Just make sure you complete the steps before we go, because this is going to be part of our video. Stay tuned for tomorrow for an extra video. Again, I appreciate likes, guys. I appreciate subscriptions, man. You're going to see a lot of videos from me. Um, you know, one hand washes the other, right? So we're a big community. Like I said, I'm a professional trainer. I've been doing this for a long time. Um, I train many students. I get them prepared for that job world. It's not just showing you, or telling you what to do. It's about leadership. It's about proving yourself that you're able to go ahead and do it, and not just, wait for the next day for it to happen, right? Um, like I said, I have my. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. My apologies. Stand by. Please stand by, guys. Sorry. Something just happened here. It's not your fault. Right, this is a quote that I like to do. Again, sorry, my apologies. Let me get back to what I was saying. But this is a quote that I like to go by. Success doesn't happen overnight, right? So keep your eyes on the prize. Try to do what's right, and eventually you'll reach your goal. Um, you know, don't just sit there and watch me and pretend that you watched me, but you watched me do it, right? If something happens on your end, hey, let me know. It's not a big deal. I am teaching you. So we need to work together in this. So it doesn't happen overnight. So understand that success doesn't happen overnight. So I want you to keep your eyes on the prize and don't look back. I want you to go for what your goal is, go for what you need to do, and go ahead and do it, right? Share your results. I'm happy, that if you learned from me, or even say, hey Sal, message me on WhatsApp and say, hey Sal, I learned from you. I love your videos. Like and subscribe, share it, right? Share these documentations with your friends, share them on LinkedIn. Do what you need to do to get this out there for you. But you're in a team. So that way, even if you work for a company and you guys are still learning how to use Ubuntu and you haven't used Ubuntu, you're a Microsoft shop, and you want to learn a little bit of Ubuntu and you want to introduce Ubuntu servers, right? So this is the perfect series for you and video for you, because you're going to learn that, and you're also going to learn how to install a container on here using the Ubuntu. We're going to be using LXD, right? So again, I just before I go, I'm going to end off with what LXD is. Again, LXD is just a powerful system container with some virtual machine management, right? So not only that it provides that experience for running your full systems inside containers, or virtual machines, but it supports for a large number of distribution Linux distributions, right? So using the Ubuntu images and the images provided in the community, how and that's built around a very powerful uh, API, right? So they scale from one instance to on a single machine to a cluster in a full data center rack. This also allows you to set up your system. That sort of kind of makes you feel like a small private cloud, right? So you can run any type of workload in any way, while you still can keep your resources managed, right? Um, LXD is going to be fun. We're going to go through those tutorials and how-to guides and get you working on the LXD server and client. We're also going to configure some instances and projects for that. I'm not going to do too much. Engineers, typically, this is the video for you. System item, this is the video for you. This is something that you want to introduce to your hire manager or business, design something. Learn this, understand the product first before you go ahead and get the fundamentals going. I'm going to end it here for now. I want to thank you guys for joining me in part one's video on let's create a container, and have yourself a great Friday and rest of the week. Stand by for part two on Monday, uh, and hopefully see you soon. So we'll have a lot of this information again on my YouTube channel. So look out for that, notes and stuff and whatnot. Um, you know, follow the video, follow along, get going. Because it doesn't hurt to have it done, right? Um, so But oh, I forgot. Sorry, guys. My apologies. I'm going to go back to the terminal, and I'm going to go back to the instructions here. And my instructions. I apologize. I almost forgot. So I'm going to type in sudo pro status. Right, and hit enter. Right, and I put my admin password, which I changed on a regular basis. Oh, okay, so once I'm in, you'll notice the services available. What happened here? Let me see something. Oh, there we go. I'm in. So there's my account, my subscription. You're going to see the different services and availability and descriptions here. Anything that's enabled, disabled, right? It's got variants here. We're going to, if we haven't already attached our Ubuntu Pro token, did we attach our token? Let's check. So this will enable the Canonical Live patch service, which cannot be run in conjunction with it. So we need to switch off the auto enable. From there. So if I have a pro token, right? So I would have to put that in. In order to get that, the functions as a single sign-on. So once we log in, we can go straight to the Ubuntu dashboard, click on machines column in your paid subscription, and then reveal the token, then enter the token in there, right? But you guys kind of get the gist of it, right? So that's going to be your last command, and then this is what you're going to see. We're going to enable the crypto modules, right? So we'll enable all crypto modules for FIPS, right? And we will paste that. Delete all this, right? See if that helps with what we need to do without having the token, and see if we can move on to the next step. So we should see an output like this. We always recommend including the latest vulnerabilities for FIPS. So we're going to update FIPS. Very, very, very important. Just make sure when you're logging into your pro account, you have your token available for you, right? Paste. And I'm going to close that out. And then you should see one moment, check the subscription and FIPS. Let's see what it says. It says, one moment, checking your subscription. This will install FIPS package, including the security updates, which is installing the FIPS package here. And then a reboot is required to install. So we're going to say yes. Install the APT packages. Can we make this a little bit? The options for bigger font sizes. Let's see. Preferences. Let's see what we got for font sizes. Click profiles here. Oh, there we go. So in the unnamed, I can change the font sizes, make them a little bit bigger if it's small. I can change the different colors. You know, I want gray. I'll select gray for my palette. Uh, so for example, text background colors. So text and background colors. So let's see if we can get a transparent theme. Well, these are the basic colors, but this is where we would go ahead and, you know, change the color scheme on that. Okay, so going back to this, right? If we look at hardware is compatible with the new version, please ensure that the hardware is compatible with the new kernel version before proceeding. So we're going to say yes. And this is going to update the package list. We need to reboot our systems to put the system into FIPS mode. So the reboot will boot into FIPS mode and it'll create a proc sys folder, which instructs the FIPS certified modules to run in the FIPS mode. And that'll check that FIPS is enabled. And then we can check that if FIPS is enabled and ensure that it's set to 0, right? So the modules will not run in FIPS mode if the file is missing. The kernel may not have been loaded, or in case, you can try troubleshooting if you need to, right? So we're waiting for that to happen. And then finally, congratulations. Once that's done, you've enabled FIPS on your Ubuntu instance, right? So this is important. Remain compliant, have all the documentation ready for you. And that's it. So I'll end this session for now. I want to thank you guys again. I mentioned my name is Sal Cosentino. It was a pleasure showing you, even if it's you alone or somebody, a class. And yeah, see, so we'll have to go back and troubleshoot that. But I think it's because of the token, or the specific thing. So it'll say failed to read the APT following the CD-ROM Ubuntu, right? So we can enable a FIPS function. So this is something where I'd have to take back and troubleshoot that a little bit more, right? And go through each step one more time to make sure that we're enabling FIPS properly. But kind of get the gist. Don't worry about this, right? So not of importance, right? So your machine is up and running. It's a test environment. You can troubleshoot this, and I hope you do. If you do have a resolution for this and you want to post it online, please feel free. I'm available, and I appreciate when people do that and they help out, and even show that they're willing to learn and show that they understand the problem and they can fix that problem because they've gone through all the steps, right? So, other than that, thank you guys again. Have a great weekend. Ciao for now.